PokeRamble Podcast.
Welcome to episode 35 of the PokeRamble Podcast. Episode 35 on the 25th anniversary. Who would have thought? Not us. But anyway, there's plenty of news to get through, so let's just get into it, shall we? Welcome to episode 35 of the PokeRamble Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Kumail, and I'm joined by the Battle Frontier brain himself. Is that coming back in the remakes? Who knows? Amit.
We have so much news this week.
Bruh. Like, even before this, there was some things going on. And now it's just like, you know, just so much. Just unbelievably so much to go through. It's unreal. But how are you anyway, apart from that? Episode 35.
I'm a little stunned.
Sophie sent me a picture
I'm still
of your
taking it all in.
reaction,
I'm still reeling.
like, whilst you're watching it. Amazing.
Did she didn't tell me she'd done that.
Incredible. It's so funny.
It was you were screaming, dude.
No. We didn't have to reveal that on the podcast, but here we are.
We do. No, we have to. You screamed like a little girl, and it was phenomenal. It was one of the most real and genuine, excitements I've ever heard. It was phenomenal.
Thank you for the follow, Mr. Mitch George. Mitch George, we're just on our Discord recording this at the moment, so if you wanted to jump in, have a little chat with us, that'll be good. But anyway, yeah, so episode 35, what Pokemon are we on at now for episode 35?
We are actually very I think auspiciously on episode Clefairy, who was the original Pikachu, or originally going to be the companion in the anime.
Now, was that your unknown fact of the week?
It was not my unknown fact of the week. Don't worry. But I thought kind of special. 25th anniversary. Obviously, the Pokemon Company picked a day knowing we'd be on this episode. So shout out to Clefairy. Shout out to the original. Would have been kind of mascot of the Pokemon franchise, were it not for the little buddy Pikachu who came along later.
So the normal type that's now a fairy type.
Yes.
Fantastic. They only come from the moon, so yeah. I don't know. Should we just jump into the sort of news, because I think we kind of have to. Yeah,
I think we kind of have to.
Cool. Well, let me just get the audio working on that one, and then yeah, we can do that. Okay, here we go. All right, prepare for the jingle, everybody. Yes, this is the section known to us as anniversary. I don't have any punny things.
25 and still alive.
There we go, 25 and still alive. Yeah, so 25th anniversary. We just came off a Pokemon presentation. Oh, how about here's a Pokemon present for the presentation. Oh, never mind. So
we should say, this is probably us in our most kind of raw and genuine, unrehearsed, unscripted. We come fresh off the direct, or the presents, I guess, an hour and a half ago, cobbled together the images and our notes. We've not prepped this at all.
Yeah, no.
This is us really raw.
I haven't rewatched the trailers at all, so I'm just going off what I saw.
Wow.
I'm just going off what I saw. But I think before we get into sort of the Pokemon presentation, should we just talk about sort of what we had predicted beforehand?
Absolutely.
So I think me and you had the same prediction. So we thought there would be Pokemon Unite release date. We thought Pokemon Sleep would get an appearance. More on that later in the show. More on the Pokemon 25th anniversary celebration. So on the 20th anniversary, we got the sort of announcements of, the mythical Pokemon coming into there'll be being a mythical Pokemon for every month. Coming to mystery gift and coming to retail and all that kind of stuff. So we got that kind of stuff in the last one, but we didn't get that here. Detective Pikachu 2 game update, which God knows where that is now, but probably see that at E3 at this point. Katy Perry's music video would make a live appearance, because gosh, this was supposed to be 20 minutes.
Yes. And
then we thought that there would be a Gen 4 remake announcement just based off all the sort of merchandise and rumors we had coming into this.
Yeah, and we talked on a couple of episodes previously about how, trademarks we'd spotted and URLs that had suddenly come to life. So it does all kind of tie in together very
notebooks
nicely.
As well that just came out of nowhere.
Yep.
And then I think the other one that you sort of had is that there would be a new Pokemon mobile game.
Yeah, I know that we've got Pokemon Unite, which I'm sure we'll talk about later in the show, coming to beta imminently.
Yeah.
But and Pokemon Sleep, which again we'll talk about later. But I thought there might be a new Pokemon app, something that really kind of broke the mold from what we've got in apps already.
One that helps you nap.
Hey.
Oh god, where's Pokemon Sleep? So the present started off with, you know, a sort of celebration of going through, you know, 1996 until now, I guess.
Yeah, and I think for anyone who maybe is old or new to the franchise, I think the nice thing about it is there's something in that video for every Pokemon fan, whether you are a trading card fan, a game fan, a fan of the weird merchandise that the Pokemon Company come out with, the anime, like every single thing.
Oh, they literally referenced every single Pokemon thing that's ever come to existence.
Even like the weird, nuanced, specific Japanese only you know, like technology and games that were launched or, you know, there for limited times. All of it was covered.
Yeah,
it was really, really touching actually, just to go through everything and just remind ourselves of kind of how diverse and how wide the Pokemon brand is now.
And like, it took 8 minutes. Would you believe? Like, that's an incredible amount of history to fit in 8 minutes.
25 years and they could have easily gone for longer.
Yeah, I mean. But yeah, so we knew it was going to be like a 20-minute presentation. So when they used up 8 minutes on that, I was like, I love this. But guys, what's happening? Guys,
we should point out that there were some significant omissions from it.
Hit me. Oh,
Pokemon Conquest.
Yes.
Pokemon. What are we talking? Pokepark Wii. Obviously, the best game from the Pokemon Company, not mentioned. Pokemon Fishing Rally didn't make an appearance. But you know, I'm sure that people who have accessed those things have probably already had other encounters with the Pokemon world, and it was nice to see, you know, Mystery Dungeon, Pokemon Ranger, all getting a mention as well, because they are very, very special to a large number of Pokemon fans.
Yeah, was Coliseum XD there? I thought they were, but
I definitely remember seeing the GameCube equivalent of Pokemon Home, which I think was called Pokemon TV.
Yeah,
I definitely remember seeing that. And whether that just represented Pokemon on GameCube, I can't remember.
Yeah,
but that was definitely there to represent
we did see
Pokemon
Stadium,
on GameCube,
didn't we? 64.
Yeah, Stadium was there. I don't think Stadium 2 was. Stadium was. That's it. Pokemon Channel. Thank you, Albob875 in the chat. Pokemon Channel, the GameCube equivalent to Pokemon Home, definitely did get a mention.
Yeah. Just a quick shout out to Alba from Waypoint, and you also got Mr. Mitch George there from Press YYZ, so check that out. But yeah, and then like, so we got the really touching video, which I'm really ready to go back and look at. But the first thing we see, and this is where Kamel's getting a bit nervous, Pokemon Snap. So we see Pokemon Snap, and you look at it, extended trailer. Did we need to see Pokemon Snap again?
Did we? I think a lot of the question around did we need to see Pokemon Snap again is probably down to how much traction and hype there is around the game. And I mean, loads of people have been waiting for Pokemon Snap to come back, but I feel like the loudest voices in that market are people who played the original. And why I think it was nice to see a little bit more of Pokemon Snap, and particularly for me, it brought a game that I thought was just going to be a remaster of something that some of us played 25 years or 20 years ago to life. It showed a lot more of the world. It showed a lot more of the gameplay. And I think for people who maybe hadn't come across the original Pokemon Snap, I think it really helped just bring the world to life a bit and bring the game to life a bit. So you obviously don't want to lead these kinds of things with your biggest announcement. So, Pokemon Snap is certainly not news to anyone. But there were little tidbits here and there that were new news. And for those who were really interested in the game, lots of nice juicy nuggets to speculate on between now and then.
I'm quite hungry, actually. I've just come off work, got this ready. I'm like, now you're saying juicy nuggets. I'm like, oh, juicy nuggets. But yeah, we've got this first screenshot up on the screen. And yeah, you see the Beautifly, you see a little Magikarp hiding in the water, you got the Venusaur in the background. It looks beautiful. It looks great. And I'm looking forward to seeing all these different environments they've got for Pokemon Snap. How many environments do you think there is?
How many what, sorry?
Environments do you think there's going to be in Pokemon Snap?
I would have thought upwards of probably maybe in the 8 to 12 region.
Yeah.
But I tell you, the one thing that really blew me away watching the trailer was just how many Pokemon there physically are on screen at some points in the game.
Yeah.
And that they're not static. Every Pokemon is intricately designed with its own unique set of movements, some of which can be interrupted. You can trigger additional ones. Mm-hmm. And that's, I think, really, really special about the game.
we see in the trailer that you've got the Pokemon Professor Mirror and his I think his assistant Rita or Rito, one of those two.
Yeah, so I guess excuse some of the quality of the upcoming screenshots. They were obviously taken directly from Pokemon Presents, but yeah, you get a first proper glimpse, I think, of Professor Mirror. And we speculated about how his name may be a potential link to the Lumina phenomenon already. And his assistant.
Too in depth with that. Like, guys, check out one of the old episodes where you mentioned Pokemon Snap.
He's the only professor not named after a tree that is organic.
Yeah.
He's named after a scientific tree. There's got to be some significance to it.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, we quickly see those two, but we see a new guy.
Yeah, looks like we've got a rival.
Hey, I just caught a glimpse of Celebi. Huh. That's what he sounds like.
If he's not named either Tracy or who was the other one who took a picture of Moltres?
I have no idea, but he's the Gen 6 guy, isn't he?
No, it was Generation 1 or 1.5.
Because we did have another guy in Gen 6 who did the same thing.
I'm going to look it up now while you're talking.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. Maybe call this guy Sketchy. So you got Tracy, so tracing.
That is a great name.
The sketch guy. Oh dear, yeah. It's not Tierno. Tierno was the guy who did the breakdancing back in Gen 6.
Yeah, Tierno did the dancing. Todd Snap.
Oh, Travis.
There we go.
It was Travis.
No, Todd Snap. Shout out to Todd Snap.
Todd Snap, the original protagonist.
Yes, who also appeared in the anime at one point.
Yeah. So yeah, we got a new rival. That's pretty cool. I wonder how he's going to play into the story. Is he going to be constantly racing you to snap Pokemon? Who knows?
It's a really odd one because this sort of feels like a very non-competitive game. Like, it really is about organically discovering these worlds and exploring Pokemon in their natural habitats. And to have a rival is a very interesting addition that I wonder how it will affect the story.
Speculating he's a rival, I don't know if they outright
Listen, his frown says, I'm going to get better pictures than you.
I'm going to send them on my only Poke fans. I don't know. Okay, next thing. So, you're breaking up there, but thankfully you did, because I didn't want my joke to go down in the water. Hey, we've got these things called Lumina Orbs, or Lumina Orbs. What on earth are these things? And I think we've lost Amit. But yeah, in the trailer we get... So, apparently in the Lentil region, there's this big thing called the Lumina phenomenon. And here we see in the trailer the first use of these orbs that, you know, give these Pokemon this sort of mysterious looking aura and really lights them up in the background. And it's going to be interesting to see why we're using it, / if they give you more points. Oh, there you are, Amit. But yeah, what's sort of happening with the Lumina phenomenon?
It's really interesting. So the Lumina Orbs are, I guess, ways in which Professor Mirror has taken the Lumina phenomenon and, I don't want to say weaponized it, but utilized it to... I mean, look, if you're throwing orbs of light at Pokemon against their will, arguably it's a weapon. But hey, it makes them do really cool things. Like, it makes Scorbunny kick out blue fire as opposed to orange. So
that is dope.
It will be really interesting to see how that kind of transgresses as we go forwards.
And we saw Meganium in the older trailer. Like, it had the Lumina phenomenon all around it. So was that artificial or was that natural? So,
I mean, it definitely seems like the Lumina phenomenon occurs naturally, and with Meganium being what looks like at the moment the thing centrally as the sort of the catalyst for the story, I'm assuming that Meganium is affected by the Lumina phenomenon naturally.
Yeah.
And either you're trying to cure it, help it, whatever it may be. We've talked about how, my theory is that this has got something to do with how Pokemon become shiny. Which would also, in theory, double the number of Pokemon that you could catch in the game, right? Immediately, just off the bat. But let's wait and see.
Cool. The next thing to point out is that we saw this in an earlier sort of post, but here it is again. Pokemon are going to have different poses. And yeah, you want to try to get all the photos of the different poses as well.
It's nice. I mean, I'm really curious to work out how the game is going to grade your photographs, where if you think you've got a really good image, the game says it's useless. But I'm assuming that the start is are probably to do with the various, either, trying to catch the Pokemon in a particular special pose, or maybe affected by a Lumina Orb, or eating a berry. Like, there's probably a standard set of what constitutes each star grade. Otherwise, I can see people getting really sort of irritable that they are half a second or half a second too late, trying to get the 4-star image. So it'll be really interesting to see how that pans out.
Yeah, I mean, I remember in the original game that you did get like points for poses, but then at the same time, it's like they were really strict on, you need to get the Pokemon in the center of the shot. You need to get him to fill out as much of the shot as possible. So let's see how they change on this one. But I do like these little Pokédex sort of entries for these Pokemon.
Yeah, it'll add some replayability to the game if you really want to go for that 4-star photo every time.
And yeah, you can add filters and stuff, which is really cool.
This is possibly my favorite thing about the announcement today, is that you can edit photographs in post. So if you didn't get the crop quite right on your photo, you can fix it. If you want to add special effects, you can add them. You can add like googly eyes and sparkles and all that kind of stuff. But actually, the thing for me that I was like, this is mind-blowing, is that you can actually you can edit your shot. Not quite recam it. I don't think you can change the angle of the camera, but you can certainly crop and rearrange the photo slightly to get it exactly how you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is a very, very cool addition from the base game, because I think for some people that's going to make the real difference.
Yeah, and with that, you can now share these photos as well online. Wait, can we, before we go into that, can you just look at these two Sobbles? So on screen, for people who are listening by audio, on screen there's two Sobbles just looking up at this Venusaur, just jumped to some next level. That's incredible.
I'm disappointed that the splash of the dive bomb doesn't just blow the Sobble off the rock. Because Venusaur is a hefty looking Pokemon.
Cruel man. And then yeah, look at these. You can share these online. You can add emojis, stickers, and all that kind of stuff to your photos.
I saw some phenomenal examples in the trailer that we saw today. I cannot wait for the internet to find ways to make this wholly inappropriate and get it switched off.
No, surely there's no way to do that in new Pokemon Snap.
I guarantee if there isn't any filtering or checking on these photos before they're shared with everyone else, I guarantee that someone is going to start abusing this pretty quickly.
Oh no.
Listen, the Pokemon audience took to Twitter to try and sabotage Twitter beating Pokemon Red in someone's avatar. There are people out there, unfortunately, who are either fans of the Pokemon franchise or want to ruin it, and take advantage of this sometimes. But look, it's a kid's game. I'm sure they'll have done everything they can to, make it safe and sensible from the get-go. It's probably the area where I immediately go, oh gosh, I can see this going wrong.
Yeah.
But honestly, I kind of like it. I like that I'm going to get to see everyone else's photos, and that we can share photos with each other and be like, ha, look what I did and look what you did. And that's going to be really cool.
Okay. So Pokemon Snap sort of starting off the conference technically as the first game we've seen. A lot in there. Obviously it's going to cost £45, $60. Is this enough for you? What you've seen, is this enough for you to say, I'm going to buy this game, I'm going to play this game?
I think the biggest draw for me is that this is an opportunity to see Pokemon in ways you never get to see Pokemon. And I get that we've got the wild area in Sword and Shield, but the quality of the animation in this versus what we get in Sword and Shield is worlds apart.
Yeah,
so I think for that alone, I'm going to get this game. And as I said, I didn't get to play the original. I was never lucky enough to have, or it was probably before my time, the N64 with the camera and all that stuff, before I was probably old enough to understand it all. So that's probably already enough of a pull for me as a Pokemon fan. But look, there's going to be people out there who just want to take really pretty photographs, and the fact that it's Pokemon rather than a nature reserve game might be enough of a draw. Like I can't think of an equivalent like a zoo-esque game or a nature reserve where you just go out on safari and take photos of animals. So for some people that might be enough.
Yeah, true. Eric in the chat says I still play the original, which is really cool.
I'm very jealous of anyone who has the physical original N64 cartridge, controller, and controller adapter with like a camera edition for your controller. Anyone who has that, I'm incredibly jealous of you.
Yeah, hide them. It's coming.
They're probably worth lots of money nowadays.
And so what we got next, if I remember correctly, is they were like showing Sword and Shield 2019, and I thought they were going to go forward to show the DLC in 2020 and then forward to show us the new game, but they were like, no, we're going back to 2016, 2013, and they get all the way back to what? Diamond and Pearl.
Can you believe it was 6 years in between Diamond and Pearl and X and Y?
It's
Not X
insane
and
to
Y.
think. It's Gen 5.
Gen 5.
It's insane to think about, but hey, Diamond and Pearl remakes have been confirmed. You'll never have to see people on the internet be DPP remakes when? It's happened. Oh man. Oh wow. Hello. So my initial thoughts on this is yes. Yes, 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 yes.
And I think that the thing that made you happiest is they've definitely reverted to the top-down, tile-based world map. They've not tried to recreate the world map in a way that I guess Oras did in Generation 6, where it's a little bit more fluid. This is a true top-down, grid-like Pokemon game.
Yes, 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 yes. And like, I like the 3D games, but at the same time, there's something in the 3D games that just are fundamentally not there. Especially when you're going through routes, they feel a bit sparse, a bit empty. But when we
talked about it, I think, on the last podcast, that one of the things that the top-down games do so well is they rely and force the player to imagine the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So you can only see the first row of trees in a top-down game, and your mind just goes, "Oh, there must be rows of trees. It's a field or a forest," or your mind does that without you even realizing it. Whereas when you're in a 3D world, and Sword and Shield highlights this really well, because you can see the background and what's behind the background, your imagination is doing a hell of a lot less. So the world immediately feels smaller because your imagination is always bigger than what someone can create for you.
That's a brilliant point. But I guess as well, I saw a video of someone like mapping out if they did a remake of like certain games, mapping them out in 3D and how it would look. And it's a lot more sparse because like in a top-down game, you're cramming things in constantly. But in a 3D game, like you said, it's just expansive. Like you're looking around, and it leads to more like barren spaces compared to like a top-down game where you can fill the spaces in a lot easier.
One of the things that Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire did really well is that moment when you can jump on Latias or Latios's back and explore the world in 3D, but actually with a Z-axis. So there's height, and you're flying around the world map. And what that does is give a sense of scale to the region. And the moment you get that sense of scale, you suddenly look at some of the routes and go, "Oh, it's actually a lot smaller or a lot bigger than I thought it was, because these towns are further apart than I realized, or this is a lot closer together." And you get that benefit from a top-down game because it's not trying to fill in all the gaps of the bits you can't see.
Yeah.
And look, this art style is lovely. It made me think of Animal Crossing. Was the first thing that went through my mind. It's a very cutesy art style. It's really approachable, really kind of enjoyable, and I look forward to seeing the game. Hopefully we get another trailer soon that kind of details a little bit more about what's going to be the same and what's different.
What they normally do is they drip feed you information all the way up to release. So I don't doubt for a second that you're probably gonna see another trailer at some point very soon. Maybe give it.
What did you think of the art style?
I like it, and I'll tell you why I like it a bit later on. I just want to quickly focus on the screenshot we've got up in front of us. Now, we don't know too much about this game. We don't know if there's Mega Evolution coming. We don't know if Z moves are back. Doubt it, because it's a Alolan thing. And we don't know if there's Dynamax, or do we? Look at the TV in that screenshot. That's Mount Coronet. It's got a reddish, purplish, pinkish haze around it. There's like thunder coming out of it. Has Eternatus found its way to Sinnoh, Doggy Dog?
Can I speculate? I there's something we're going to talk about later in the show surrounding Mount Coronet that makes me think that it can't be canon for Dynamax to exist, because if that happens, we'll talk about it later in the show, it conflates and makes other things a lot more complicated.
Now, here's what I'd like to say to you. Do you remember what they did in Oras? Oras is when they introduced the idea that there's an alternate timeline to the one that we live in.
Yes.
So simply, it could exist because it's an alternate timeline. It's like a remake, isn't it? So it could feasibly be a possibility that Eternatus has made its way to Sinnoh, and now Dynamax is just suddenly a thing here. To counter my own point, though, I put out this tweet, and I had a reply from someone saying the originals also had a purple cloud in the intro TV. So it could be that they're just being insanely loyal to, the original games, and that's just there. And because we know what Dynamax looks like, we're putting 2 and 2 and making 4. But it could be just.
It definitely. I definitely, and we've started playing Pokemon Platinum very recently.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fresh in my mind that Professor Rowan is talking about, the destruction of worlds, I think, in the beginning of Pokemon Platinum. So the image on screen does feel appropriate for that kind of beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have to wait and see. These are really good things to speculate about, and I'm very excited either way. Dynamax, no Dynamax. I really want Mega Evolution back, I'll be honest, but I can live with it if it's not there.
Yeah.
It's exciting. And also nice to see that you will be playing as Dawn and Lucas.
Yeah, so for the art style, like, I really like the top-down version. In terms of it, the chibi and how the characters look, I don't mind it. I think it's okay. It's fine. I can understand some people wanting them to look more like their sprites in the original game. But for an art style, I think it's perfectly okay. I'm not disappointed at all.
The real challenge with converting this art style into 3D that you forget in the 2D world is that your character is mostly head, and you don't, like, the body is squished, and you see it.
Yeah.
You see it and it's really, really good. At the beginning of every Pokemon game, there's that image of you when you pick your name and you're full size, and then it slowly shrinks you down to the size your actual character is.
Yeah.
And you see how quickly your legs disappear.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing to go. And then your chest is compressed as well. So trying to create and be true to the 2D scale, which this game has done really well, I think forces the art style where you kind of have to have that, big head, small body vibe, because otherwise it doesn't scale properly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a very valid point. I guess it's more that they would rather keep that scale, yes, but make the models look different. And I can understand in my mind how you do that, but I can't articulate it to a point.
I think the challenge with it is that if you make a sprite to scale,
mm-hmm.
On those same tiles, then you end up having a very, very thin character,
mm-hmm.
which means you've got to do a lot more to restrict that character's movement if you're not adhering to the tile system, because they'll only occupy a small part of a very big tile. I'm obviously speculating. I don't know how the development has been done for the game, but just purely trying to mirror old mechanics to new mechanics and how they probably work. For me, that feels like the obvious challenge around scaling the character.
Talking of scaling the character, so we see the screenshot in front of us, in battle screenshot. So what's really cool and what I really appreciate about this is it's a bit like Let's Go. And I never thought I'd bring appreciate and Let's Go in the same sentence. I'm fucking with you. I like Let's Go. But when you get into a battle, you got the 3D model, the full 3D model, which is actually really cool.
And I think one of the things that Pokemon's always done very well is the battle environment. In every game, that's been one of the standouts. But yeah, this sort of Let's Go vibe, I think, is really nice. Rich environments, lots going on. Big fan.
And then here's another screenshot of the 2D environment. So you were saying it reminds you of Animal Crossing, and for me it looks a lot more like Link's Awakening, but it can be like a hybrid of those two, can't it?
Yeah, and there's similarities between those two anyway. But it really, I think what this image nails home more than anything is it is a square world where everything has neat edges, everything is perpendicular, to each other at right angles, and I think for people who are really happy and who love the top-down, aspect of some of the older games, then this is everything you wanted.
Oh, and more. And I want to show off, like, here's the next screenshot. Battles. So these models basically look like the models we've got at the moment, and I think, and it actually kind of reminds me more, that Lucario looks a lot like Pokemon Go Lucario more than anything, but let's remember the Pokemon Go models take from the 3DS models, and I think, yeah, they haven't really done anything to these models in terms of an upgrade and stuff like that.
Yeah, and let's remember that this is not necessarily the final cut. There's potentially things they will do to add textures and remodel things between now and launch, but I think that's a fair comment. The sprites look very reminiscent to the 3D sprite, the 3DS era. And to be fair, Sword and Shield has been criticized about that for
I think
taking some of
the idea they
models from
had
that.
with when they got to the 3D models is that they wanted to be able to upscale these models and bring them into future games. They wanted to future-proof them. That's the word I'm looking for. And so it's very much the case here that they've just future-proofed the old models and brought them into this game.
What's going to be really interesting? What's going to be really interesting when this releases is, will we see an expanded Pokedex in Sword and Shield? Given that there are Pokemon, Pergily is the one who comes to mind immediately, who exist in the Diamond Pearl games but do not exist in the Sword Shield games.
I don't think so, but I'll come on to why in a little bit. The next screenshot I have for you is this. Look at the water physics in this screenshot right here.
This is Lake Verity at the very beginning of the game. And actually, one of the things that's worth commenting on in this screenshot is when you first get to Lake Verity, Dawn is not there. So this is already an indication that some aspects of the story or the plot are going to be either slightly different or very different. When you first reach Lake Verity, and I can spoil this because the game's 15 years old and we've covered it in...
hang on, how many seconds do you need for your spoiler? Because I want people to be able to skip over this. If
5 seconds.
5 seconds, starting now.
Cyrus is standing there, not those two. So it's a clear indicator that things are different and things are changing. So that's really exciting as someone who really loved the original story, excited about what will be or what might not be different this time.
And my final thing is this. Look at this town.
Yeah, it just evokes nostalgic memories. I think there's nothing better to say than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, I'm so ready for this game. And here's a little back sprite model of you encountering a Shinx. Just amazing. And look, I think we all knew, like, if we were going to get these remakes, what date it would hit. And here's the date for you. It's late 2021. So
yeah, and it's interesting. I mean, obviously, COVID-19 may well have disrupted production. That's always a genuine possibility. But in theory, we've had no new Pokemon.
Mecha
Obviously,
Shadow says in the chat 9.8 out of 10 realistic water. Yeah.
let's give. I mean, I know the DLC for Sword and Shield was split into 2 parts, but we've not had an announcement of new Pokemon content for over a year now.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate that, the Isle of Armor, not the Isle of Armor, Crown Tundra launched late last year, so it's going to be quite a break for brand new Pokemon content, mainstream Switch titles. Between, I guess, the base Sword and Shield and what is now coming.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas historically we've seen, even if it's like Virtual Console or something, they've tried to plug the gaps a little bit more in between.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing to bear in mind, is that COVID-19 may have affected that. And I guess one thing, and this is purely speculation off a 10-second encounter on Cerebi, but if you buy into the idea that Cerebi probably get press releases and see this content a little bit before the actual direct or the Pokemon Presents happens, so that they can prep their big announcements for the news page and prep their Twitter and all that other stuff to get the news out there.
He's pretty fast anyway, so even if he's not
getting
he's pretty fast.
So this is purely speculative. But on Cerebi, rather than saying late 2021, it actually had the date of 2021, so any time in the year. But why that's interesting is the game that we're going to talk about next, in the Direct, had a date of early 2022, but on Cerebi has a late 2021 release date. Now, that could be a typo, or could be a last-minute change in expectations.
He's updated it to 2022. It was 100% a typo for that other game. So yeah.
Did he call it out as a typo?
I haven't looked at it. I swear I'm just looking at the website as we speak.
No, that's fair. Yeah. So the question is, did Cerebi get a version of the press release that said...
No, I'm killing it right now. No.
Fine.
No, they didn't, okay?
It would be very understandable, given COVID-19. I'm not criticising it at all.
So this is coming in late 2021, so we can speculate it's coming November, probably. Yeah, which is I'm ready for. I'm so ready for. I can't wait to play this game. I can't wait to play this game. Now,
I think of everything that happened in the Pokemon Presents, this is the thing you are most happy for.
and it's all because of that top-down style. Like, I'm so happy to see it back. Like, that's like, look, I wanted a 2D game. I can't get a 2D game. Fine, give me a top-down game. Yes. Let's go. Oh, I'm so happy.
One of the things that that look to be the case is that wild Pokemon battles are a thing, which means no Let's Go catch style mechanics.
Oh, actually, yeah.
So,
I want to bring that up if we can.
As Lucas is running through the grass and encounters a wild Pokemon, and it cuts to Shinx, he releases a Pokemon. So that makes it look like he releases Piplup, I think.
Oh,
so
yes,
that means
yes. We saw that screenshot early on. Oh, yes.
That means
yes. Let's go. Yes.
Not Let's Go.
Yes. Yeah, not Let's Go. Sorry. Yes. Oh, yes.
So this could mean genuine 1-for-1 remakes, old catch style mechanics, wild Pokemon battles, kind of everything you want from Diamond and Pearl, just in a new art style and probably with a slightly revised story.
Hey, I'm not the only one, because Albob875 in the chat here, Waypoint, says, very excited to go back to the top-down style too. Yes. Now, what's really interesting,
I should say, for people who are fans of the podcast, that's probably the closest you're going to hear Kamal get to his high girl screaming voice from earlier. But I'll try and make it happen for you.
Yeah. But so, now what was really interesting about this is a company called Ilka developed this.
Yes. And I'm trying to remind myself what Ilka developed previously.
So I haven't seen anything that they've developed, but they've worked on a few franchises. So they've worked on Nier Automata, they've worked on Dragon Quest, they've worked on Code Vein, they've worked on Ace Combat 7, which I love Ace Combat 7. And apparently the director from Monster Hunter Iceborne recently moved to this company.
Actually, that's what they've done. They made Pokemon Home.
Oh, I see. So it's,
I knew that,
interesting, like a very unknown company to like people who are not in game development, just are making, and I think they've done a stellar job by what we've seen so far. And let's just put it in here, like Masuda is probably he's still a director on this, so he's still probably overlooking the project and whatnot. But so it makes so much sense why he wasn't doing the DLC for Sword and Shield, and it'll make even more sense when we move on to this next little bit. But sorry, are you getting which version are you getting? Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl?
My heart probably says Diamond, but for me, it's always about the version exclusives. So if there's a particular Pokemon I adore that's in one game and not the other, that's enough to make me pick.
What's the one Pokemon that's finally going to be returning that's never been in any other Pokemon games since it debuted?
Dude, shout out to Purlioin and Pergly, who have not been in a Pokemon game since the original Diamond and Pearl.
Oh no, they're Gen 5 Purloin. Do you mean Glameow?
Nope. Oh, I mean Glameow. Yeah. Glameow and Pergly. Sorry, Glameow and Pergly.
There we go. Oh dear.
Yeah, shout out to Glameow.
We're finally going to see it. But yeah, so the real reason why, Masuno wasn't working on the Pokemon Sword DLC and why we've heard nothing about a new game last year was because of this. Pokemon Legends Arceus. What?
So this has got to be the thing from the present that blew me away. This is the Pokemon game I've been praying for 25 years, probably. Since I played like the top-down Red and Blue, this is the game I wanted.
So
open world. Let's get into it.
So during the Pokemon Presents, they say this is a new era for Pokemon. Is this Generation 9, or is this like a new sort of direction they're going to go with some of these games? So you're going to have the core games like Generation 9, 10, 11, 12 to the end of time, or is this going to be so how do I explain it? Is it going to be separate from the core series, or is this Gen 9?
Well, what's really interesting is they gave this game a genre, and they called it, I think, an adventure RPG.
Yes.
Or did they call it an action RPG?
Action RPG.
Action RPG.
Yeah.
So for me, if they're branding this an action RPG, this is not Generation 9. This is, in the same way Pokemon Conquest or Mystery Dungeons or other games like that have been, this is, a first generation game in its own right.
So we finally know what Masuda's probably been working on for these past 3 or 4 years now, and this is it. And wow, I was impressed.
Yeah, and you know what? It's great because I think one of the things that people accuse the Pokemon Company of with Sword and Shield is not really kind of stepping out of their comfort zone and breaking the the new hardware in the Switch to its full potential. That's what this game is. And if it took them an extra year or an extra 2 years to figure it out, boy, is it going to be worth the wait.
So I just want to read out this blurb that we've got from Cerebi. The game is a new style of game from Game Freak, set in an old time in Sinnoh, and will release in early 2022. Pokemon Legends Arceus is a new experience for Pokemon series. Pokemon live freely in the wild. People from the world have settled in Sinnoh. You are given starters of Rowlet, Cyndaquil, and Oshawott, which is really cool that it's like a randomizer. You don't know what you're going to get. And you strive to complete the Pokédex. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. So apparently we're looking to complete the Pokédex again in this world.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly get a sense from some of the, and we'll come on to screenshots stuff in a minute, but you certainly get a sense from this game that it really is all about the exploration with Pokemon. That's the core of this, is this big, vast, open world experience where you are with your Pokemon trying to catch them all.
Yeah, so to catch Pokemon, you need to observe them, sneak up on them, and aim your Pokeball. And the other thing is, battles are seamless, and you can catch Pokemon with Pokeballs. So you got two ways of catching Pokemon. And do you remember there was rumors, and there was also like a peripheral patented to catch, it was basically a Pokeball. So when people said "Let's Go" mechanics are coming to Sinnoh, this is probably what they meant, where you'd be in the grass.
This is probably the closest thing that we're going to get to Let's Go mechanics, where you literally just sneak up on a Pokemon, chuck a Pokeball at it. And by the way, the character looks like they're throwing a grenade. Like, this couldn't look more like doing something to a Pokemon against its will.
Yeah.
Like, literally sneaking up, combat roll, grenade, success. That's the sequence. But we'll get into that more in a sec. But yeah, this is probably the closest thing you're going to get to Let's Go mechanics.
Now, would you like to look at Lucas and Dawn's ancestors from the old Sinnoh?
Yeah, I mean, you certainly get the Lucas and Dawn vibes. And what's really interesting, I mean, if the aim of this game is to complete the Pokédex, how far back are we going if a Pokédex exists as a concept?
Yeah, maybe it's like a book of some sort where it's like, oh, here's this ancient book, scribble down, tick, I've got this Pokemon. Maybe you're creating the Pokédex, but not like an electronic version. Because look at the Pokeballs. I mean, you can't see it from the screenshot, but in the trailer, they had a kind of like iron lock on them, sort of looking.
Yeah. And it really does smack of early days of, when Kurt used to forge Pokeballs out of apricorns. Like, it really is going back a long, long way. So...
So Albert in the chat has just put out there, so completing the Pokédex for the first time is what I think they said. So we're going to have this really unique looking Pokédex of all these different Pokemon, which is going to be fantastic. But he said that the Pokeballs are steam powered Pokeballs. Is Volcanion confirmed for Pokemon Legends?
Hang on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
And let's, so the full title of this game is Pokemon Legends : Arceus.
Can I interrupt you again? For Jesse coming in clutch in the chat, Pokédex will be a book, and you'll fill it in with hand-drawn pictures. So it's kind of like Monster Hunter Rise as well, which is really cool.
Fair enough. Given that the game is Pokemon Legends : Arceus, so Pokemon Legends, I guess, is the new genre that they've created, and I think if the Pokemon Legends is going to be the name of the kind of series as it goes on from here on, it certainly seems like it's going to be about very special legendary Pokemon, but also stories in ancient times. So there's probably lots of lore that's going to be new to us about how people used to catch Pokemon in the early days, or things like that. So there probably are going to be a lot of breaking the mold type discoveries to be made here.
That's probably what I'm most excited about. Like, I remember when we were reacting to it together, as soon as I saw the book open and you heard the narrator come in, I was like, yes, please God. Like, the one thing we've suffered for quite some time is not having a decent enough story in a Pokemon game. Like, Pokemon Journeys is doing a fantastic job about telling all these different like tales in the Pokemon world. Pokemon Masters is doing a fantastic job at giving us story content that we want with characters we love. And this seems like it's going to be a game where we are getting another story about a Sinnoh from the past, a very different looking Sinnoh from the screenshot here with Mount Coronet.
Yeah,
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I think the thing that this game does immediately in the trailer is give you that sense of scale. Like if you assume that if the game is revolving around Mount Coronet, you must assume therefore that the mountain in that image is climbable, and therefore that everything between you and that mountain is accessible.
Okay,
very much like that
chill
opening
out with the Breath of the Wild stuff. I can hear
No, but
exactly where you're going.
That for me is like the perfect analogy to this game. It feels like Pokemon Breath of the Wild, where you have an art style that is quite reminiscent of Breath of the Wild, scale and environments that are probably going to be very different, like Breath of the Wild. And to be honest, I can see the similarities popping up already.
Can we talk about this UI that we've got in front of us? Because it looks absolutely immaculate. I love everything about it right now.
Very minimalistic, which is a huge plus. And what's going to be really interesting for me is how seamless the transition is from open world to combat. Whether it's like, and I know I say it all the time, but whether it's like Pokepark Wii, where you seamlessly go from running around to taking on a Pokemon, and there is no pause, there is no loading for a battle, you're just in it.
Yeah.
That I think would be really cool if it goes that far.
Mhm.
But what did look really interesting from some of the clips of battles that we did see is it looks like the camera is going to be a free camera, which is absolutely insane for a Pokemon game. We've never had a free cam in a battle before.
In a battle. Oh, okay. In the mainline series, yeah. I mean, look at these Piplups by the beach. You know, look at them just hanging out. Question. If I can find, here we are. There we go. Who's going to be your starter?
So the first thing that you notice about these starters, I think they're very specially selected in that they have very, very signature ways of attacking. So Cyndaquil and Flame Wheel is a very sort of signature style of both movement and attacking. Oshawott and his Scalchop and Razor Shell, Rowlet with either some kind of leafage from his wings or a flying attack. They feel like starters that are going to have some real depth to their movement and their interaction with the world. And I hope that that's why they've given us a very sort of mismatched set of starters, is that the one thing they all have in common is some very interesting ways of fighting and moving around.
Okay, but no, seriously, who are you picking?
Cyndaquil.
Yeah, same as me. I mean, I love Rowlet, but like as Rowlet evolves, like Rowlet's the best thing about Rowlet. Like, forget Decidueye and all that.
Yes,
Rowlet's the guy. But Cyndaquil, I do like Typhlosion as well. And I think Albob and Thrower Jesse in the chat are also in the same place we are. Like Cyndaquil, dude, it's got to be Cyndaquil. But you see Chimchar, you can get yourself a Chimchar later on. But yeah, in terms of stars, we're going Team Cyndaquil.
It looks like all the Sinnoh starters are around because we see Piplup as well, and it's only it's probably fair to assume Turtwig will show up.
It could be another Charizard situation in Sword and Shield, which is just Charizard and nobody else. But yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus is due to come in 2022. And what role is our good friend Arceus going to play?
I guess the centerpiece of the story. I think it's probably all around, and Arceus is talked about as the Pokemon of creation. So it's probably going to be very much around how the Pokemon world came to be the world we know it today.
Yeah.
I'd be really interested to see
would it be like the Jewel of Life where Arceus, gives his powers to create the world and humanity turns against him and he just like gets all angry? Or is it going to be a bit more tempered?
I wonder whether they're going to go for the difficult story here, which is Pokemon being caught by human beings for the first time, and the god of Pokemon being like, that's not okay. For me, that's the hardest story to try and answer. If they shy away from that and they pick a different story, absolutely fair play. But that would be the story I'd love to see.
Yeah, and there's no gyms, apparently. Well, we don't know. We don't know. I've got a new question for you, and probably not one. I don't want to be Debbie Downer over here. But do people need to temper their expectation when it comes to Legends? Because, look, you said it yourself that this is still a game in development, and it did look rough. It looked really rough. I mean, especially the animations for some of the Pokemon, it was like sort of glitching out halfway through the trailer. And it wasn't a vertical slice by the look of it. Maybe it's like a live look at where the sort of project is at the moment. But it doesn't look like it's going to be that populated. It looks like it's going to be a bit more sparse.
I'm so pleased that the Pokemon Company didn't shy away from showing us where they're actually at, and that they trust the audience enough, that they trust that fans of the Pokemon franchise are going to be excited enough purely on the fact that this is a new outing than caring that every graphical detail was fixed potentially over a year from when this game is going to release. I like that Pokemon trust their audience with that.
So it's Game Freak's first sort of, step into this territory. So hopefully, they can do a good job with it with the next year that they've got. And you know what? I wouldn't be mad if they delayed it if they had to. But I just found it strange that you're debuting a game and showcasing a game, and yet when you look at the trailer, the Pokemon are moving really weirdly in it.
Look, I think in an ideal world, they might have been further along with the project than they would have hoped. And I'm sure that Masuda's been working on this long enough that he has been planning this day being the day he wants to tell the world about this game for more than a couple of years now.
Yeah.
25 years is a huge anniversary, and there's no doubt in my mind that he was planning something special for this moment for some time.
I mean, we've been speculating since the DLC came out, like, what are they doing? What are they doing? And this is what they've been doing all that time.
And so I feel like it's probably more a case of, look, life has been tough for everyone this last year or so. This may just be where they're at, and that's okay. That's totally fine. But they trust their audience enough to show something that's a little bit, fresh off the chopping block rather than refined and polished and varnished.
Yeah, I get it.
Look, in terms of tempering expectations, I think the only thing you have to go into this game with the expectation of is it's going to be fundamentally different from any Pokemon game you've played before. And I think if you're willing to go into it with that, I think, to be honest, you forgive the art style and you forgive the glitches and you forget, even at this stage.
I don't think the art style is the problem. I just think, the way the world sort of looks in terms of, like, there being things to do.
Yeah, but I'm sure if we'd have seen Pokemon Red a year before it was released, we'd have probably said the same thing. That it was,
Albob's favorite Pokemon's there. I just wanted to show that off.
Dude, shout out to Riolu and Rhyhorn.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. I'm definitely excited. You heard my reaction. I'm excited for it, but I just want to make sure that when it does come out, people are not all of a sudden giving Game Freak shit because, there's not that much to do in the world.
I would just say to people, if you're excited, be excited right now. This is new territory, and for a franchise that's 25 years old to do something this radically different, get excited about it. Seriously, you should be. And look, the tempering of expectation, I think, comes as we start to hear more about the game and as we start to learn more things.
Yeah, what's the gameplay loop? So it's just
exactly
catching the Pokemon. Is it just catching the Pokemon, or
exactly?
What
and I think if you give it an open mind and a genuine open mind, I don't think you can be disappointed.
Dude, I'm so looking forward to seeing different parts of Sinnoh and how they looked hundreds of years ago, or however long this game ago took place.
There's so many. There's just so many. That's the best thing about this is there's so many unknowns.
Yeah.
Like, for the first time in probably a long time, there aren't going to be gyms or a challenge, and there aren't going to be an Elite Four in a mainline Pokemon game, and that's exciting. Like, that in itself is exciting.
Oh, we had Sun and Moon, didn't we? For, like, gyms and stuff.
Listen, they had a gym. They just called it something different.
I think it was Mali City where we had that guy Ryuki that had the made-up gym. Remember?
I was thinking a lot about Ryuki today, but I can't tell you why.
Okay. Is that because it's a secret or is something else?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's a new direction for I in my wildest dreams did not see them going in this direction at all. I never thought they would hand off a mainline Pokemon game to another company either to develop. But we just live in a world now. We live in a world.
Look, for all we know, they may have tried this before with another company and it went badly wrong. Yeah. So the important thing is that they continue to push boundaries, try new things, and trust that the Pokemon brand is strong enough that, do you know what? Even if it's not Breath of the Wild phenomenal first time round, that's still going to be okay.
Mecha Shadow says, well, to be honest, they did a shot-for-shot remake of Breath of the Wild shot, so they're making the comparison for us. Fair enough, yeah.
They did. And honestly, the first thing I thought of when I saw, I guess, Old Dawn looking at the mountain, that is Link looking at Hyrule Castle as he comes out of the first cave in Breath of the Wild. Not a spoiler. So that for me,
I like how you're not a spoiler after you say it.
Look, it's the opening 5 seconds of the game. It's not Hyrule Castle's in the game. It's not a spoiler.
Oh man, I was just about to get to it. Oh man.
No, I know you finished it, so it's okay. Listen, for me, and also like the cinematic shots, the wide angles, even the art style, like it just felt very Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And listen, Pokemon Breath of the Wild, I don't know if you've been keeping up with rip-off Pokemon games, but someone has been making it in the background.
No, I
literally taking Breath of the Wild assets and applying Pokemon to it.
That's incredible.
So I think it's a great step forward. I'm excited for what comes and what's happening. But I think probably for now, just be excited and enjoy the moment. It's special.
So that was the Pokemon Presents. And out of 10, what would you give it?
Listen, for sheer surprise and for the level of risk that they take with their audience in showing something that is uncut and unpolished as this, I would want to give it a 10 out of 10. I couldn't have asked for more as a Pokemon fan. However, where the Helioptile is Pokemon Sleep.
That's going to come later on the show. I promise. We're going to have an answer.
For that reason, it's a 0 out of 10. Move on.
No Pokemon. Yeah, I was so shocked the fact that they gave us not one mainline game, because like literally when we get an announcement for a mainline game, they never show us the game. They show us concept art, they show us, this, that, and the other, and then give us the titles, and then we get like another, presents or a direct coming down the line, we see the game. So the fact that we saw 2 mainline games and we saw gameplay of the games, oh my god, this was fantastic. 7.8 out of 10. Too much Breath of the Wild. No, I was joking. 15 out of 10. 15 out of 10 for me. It was incredible.
I can't credit enough the fact that they were willing to show something. Look, there are franchises out there who sit on a game for 5 years until it's polished enough, but they've given themselves a deadline now. They've shown where they're at, and they've got work to do.
Yeah,
let's see what happens.
It's a brave new world for Pokemon, and I'm here for it. And this makes. So we're gonna get the Breath of the Wild Pokemon. Are we still gonna get traditional Pokemon as well? Does that mean that the Pokemon company are now going to start working with other companies to produce these other games that have been like a mainstay in the franchise for such a long time?
Absolutely, and I feel like this is not Generation 9. Let's not confuse ourselves.
Yeah,
this is not the classic RPG turn-based. This is not the future of the main series game.
Yeah.
But in the same way that Conquest and Mystery Dungeon and Pokemon Ranger and other games that I've forgotten about, like Pokemon Fishing Rally, break the mold and try something different.
Pokemon Fishing Rally. Oh wow. Yeah, no, I'm blown away about what we got in that Presents. I couldn't imagine in a million years that we were going to get 2 things like this on this scale, and how significant this is for the Pokemon franchise and where it's going.
This is probably the closest thing that we could have got to a Pokepark 3.
And
I'm okay with that.
And with that, we're probably going to move on to our next section.
Can I, just before you do, can I say some of the things I was surprised we didn't see in the Direct?
Yeah, please do.
It was surprising to me that with the 25th anniversary being so much broader than some of the other ones, we talked already about Post Malone, Katy Perry and others putting together this album of music. We've talked about the collaborations they're doing with McDonald's and Zavi and Original Stitch and lots and lots of other companies, Levi's. I'm surprised we didn't hear more announcements about how the non-gaming world is celebrating the Pokemon's 25th anniversary. And there will be people who probably watch that Pokemon Direct who are fans of the trading card game or fans of, I don't know, Pokemon Go, and it wasn't a big Pokemon Direct for them.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that it wasn't.
It was a very games-focused Direct, wasn't it?
I'm surprised that it wasn't.
Well, presentation.
I'm surprised it wasn't quite so broad-reaching as perhaps all the other stuff that is happening in the background is happening. And don't get me wrong, like lots of things are happening in Go and Masters and Pokemon Cafe for the anniversary. They're celebrating it in style, and the audiences of those games know that they're celebrating it in style. But what I guess I was hoping to see more of is what's happening outside of the games, like the music or the merch.
That's the thing with the Pokemon Presents, is that it's done by the Pokemon Company, and then you've got the different one, which is the Pokemon Direct, which is for the Switch game. So why wasn't it just a Direct at that point? Yeah, it's a question to ask, certainly.
Look, I wasn't disappointed because those things are still happening, and it's super exciting to know that they're still coming.
Yeah.
I was just hoping to get answers to some of those things today so that I could celebrate them as part of the anniversary.
Yeah.
But there is the Post Malone concert this evening.
Wait. Moving on to the next section.
Oh, we're not. Sorry.
Pokemon 25 Feeling Alive Part 2.
Spoiler.
So yeah, we've got Post Malone concert happening tomorrow. Are we getting stuff with the Post Malone concert happening tomorrow? And let's talk about the song as well after that.
It's really cool that they're doing something so different for the 25th anniversary, a virtual live concert, the likes of which we've not seen since, I want to say Pokemon Virtual Fest, but that was a very exclusive audience and it wasn't a full-on musical number.
I mean, we had to play it in Japanese and we had to figure out things that way. So
what was crazy about Pokemon Virtual Fest is I was standing in a theater next to a bunch of other people who were on that server. We were just watching Pokemon in a cinema in Pokemon Virtual Fest. It was crazy. And that was a cool moment. I'll never forget that. But I hope that this this live concert, this virtual concert, is full of surprises. And look, we know Post Malone has put out a song. We'll talk about it more in a moment. Katy Perry and others are going to be working on songs throughout the remainder of this year. So let's hope it's more than just sort of a 5-minute number of him doing a single song.
What was this about Pokemon Singapore?
So Pokemon Singapore, at some point, I want to say it was on Twitter, put out a news item that said that the Pokemon soundtrack for the 25th anniversary was going to be 11 songs. And they've since deleted that post. And you can't find reference to it other than people who maybe screenshotted it. So it probably sounds like that's what we're getting, and it was a spoiler that maybe Pokemon Singapore weren't meant to give away.
Yeah.
But my hope is that we are getting 11 songs. My hope is that we're going to get 11 different artists.
And so do you think they'll all turn up at the concert, or is it just going to be Post Malone?
I think we're just going to get Post Malone at the concert.
Now, I've been to a few of these sort of concerts where you've got these sort of like people celebrating a franchise, and like usually in the background you've got like images from the franchise or videos from the franchise. Do you think we're going to get Post Malone doing a live song, and then maybe we're going to have some of the other artists with like videos in the background of like, do you remember Bump of Chicken with the Pokemon?
Yeah, it would be cool if they played the Bump of Chicken song again.
Yeah.
Or to be honest, I think what I'm probably more likely expecting is that Post Malone is going to do other Post Malone songs.
Okay. I mean,
and they'll probably have some really cool Pokemon visuals or a video Pokemon related to go along with it. But it would not surprise me if Post Malone sang other Post Malone
before, but you get it. Yeah, I mean, and in terms of like any announcements coming out from that, do you think there will be any announcements coming out from the Pokemon live
Listen,
mob
are
concert?
The Pokemon Company witty enough to use Post Malone as the postman for their news? Probably not.
They don't deliver, do they? Well, here's my theory. It's like you've got a lot of game companies these days, and especially with Nintendo as well. They've always been hesitant to release sort of soundtracks on Spotify and stuff like that. But you just have Final Fantasy VII Remake yesterday dropping their stuff on Spotify. Do you think there's going to be an announcement with them saying, okay, we're putting all the Pokemon songs on Spotify, here we go, and like it's like Pokemon Red, Pokemon Silver, Ruby, all those kinds of games?
I don't know. I mean, I was surprised in the way in which they kind of launched the Post Malone song, which was just like, here it is, go listen to it. There was no fanfare, no build up or anything. I'd be really interested to see how well the song does in various charts and how it rates in Spotify's most played over the coming week. Because of that, because I think although it's not a song that everyone's going to enjoy, and we'll talk about it in a second. It's got the Pokemon brand on it, and that's huge. So I'll be really interested to see how well it does.
My prediction: we get music-related announcements at the Pokemon concert at the end.
I hope so.
So the Post Malone song, what do you think of it? Erica, let's start with Erica. Erica says, Amberlina in the chat, the Post Malone song was ... something.
Yeah, it was one of those things where if you hadn't have told me it was a Pokemon song, I probably wouldn't have clocked that it was a Pokemon song immediately.
Yeah.
Apart from 3 points in the song where the Ecruteak City theme, and I mean the original Gen 2 Ecruteak City theme, plays over the song. But it's subtle. It's very subtle.
And it flows into the song, which is really weird.
Yeah.
And like the background of the song doesn't have the same, sort of melody. It changes to a different melody.
When Post Malone is singing, there is no Pokemon stuff going on.
I was so excited as soon as you hear Ecruteak City for the first time after like 5 seconds into the song. Oh my god, he's not going to be singing a song over this melody. And it's he doesn't.
The song,
he just doesn't.
The song for me wasn't a Pokemon song. The song was called Only Wanna Be With You, which immediately makes me think of Ash and Pikachu, Red and Charizard, like the quintessential Pokemon relationships, but it's actually a song about a girl. And I was kind of like...
Something about cowboys.
Yeah, and it's a song by Hootie and the Blowfish. It's from the year that Pokemon was released, 1996. So maybe what we're going to get are covers of songs from 1996 because that's the year that this all kicked off. Or we get songs from the significant years, so we get a song from 1999 because that's when Gen 2 came out, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it is a little strange to me that they branded it a Pokemon song with so little Pokemon connection.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you hadn't have told me, I probably wouldn't have clocked that it was the Ecruteak City theme, and I probably wouldn't have thought it was a Pokemon song.
Erica. And he says, Cowboys, it's the Dolphins. So the Pokemon company made a joke I was really jealous of. They said more like Posty and the Quillfish.
Yeah, good work there from the Pokemon company.
Yeah, it was a strange song. I do hope we get more Pokemon-centric songs. Like, we have some great songs, especially like, do you remember Pokemon Jukebox? Like, Viridian City is one of my favorite songs, and I love the visuals to that song.
The first thing that came to my mind was the To Be a Master album and the Pokemon Christmas Bash album, which are, if you haven't got both of those on your music device of choice already, go and get them because Pokemon Christmas Bash is the quintessential experience you need at your Christmas.
This is like your new Pokepark Wii thing, Pokemon Christmas Bash.
I say that every Christmas. I'm like, you have to put on the Pokemon Christmas Bash. Look, Ash tries to kiss Misty under the mistletoe.
Lucky that Sophie's still with you.
Meowth is. I am. I don't know how I'm engaged. But like Sunflora, not Sunflora. I don't know. I'm saying Sunflora from Amberlina in the chat. That's why
I think it's like Sunflora. She's in the joke.
I honestly would have been happy with You're the Sunflora. That would have been enough.
Yeah.
But no. So it's go and check out Pokemon Christmas Bash. Go and check out TV Master. Yeah. This was a strange choice, and Billy the Door echoes my thoughts in the chat as well, saying he's confused why it's deemed Pokemon.
Yeah,
it's a nice song. It's nice to listen to, right? It's a good song.
With Japanese companies, like you look at anime for example, and even when it's not like for openings and like endings of the shows, like when I went to the One Piece Tower, there was a band called Green, and they just did a song for One Piece that's totally not got anything One Piece related in it, but they did a song for One Piece, capturing a theme, and that was it, and they branded it One Piece. So who knows? I don't understand this sort of marketing, but hey, it's working somehow. Apparently, it must be working somehow.
I guess from my perspective, I think if that's how it's done, that's probably a more Japanese centric audience type move, whereas I feel like for a Western audience, and Bumper Chicken is the perfect example, right? Where the song is not inherently a Pokemon song, but for those who are of a Western audience, the music video leaves you in no doubt that this is a celebration of Pokemon. Whereas
so
this didn't come with it.
Maybe it just needed a Pokemon backing to it,
I think it just needed, maybe it was a music video, maybe it was changing some of the lyrics around.
Yeah.
I don't know. And maybe they wanted to stay authentic to the original song. Maybe. And
I said aiming for the Western audience with like Katy Perry being involved, certainly.
I mean, I was speculating some like wild conspiracy theory level stuff as to why they picked the song. Like maybe, because bear in mind that Pokemon, I think that when this song was number one of the Billboard mainstream charts, which is not the same as the Billboard Top 100, I found out. But when it was number one of the Billboard mainstream charts, it was 1995. So I wonder if it ties in with, when the Pokemon Company was officially, or when the founding fathers all came together and kind of agreed on the idea. Maybe it was the day that, registered for the trademark or started the process. Whatever it is, I wonder.
I remember your mad lad frequent looking at it.
I wonder if this song carries some significance to the real forefathers of Pokemon that we're not privy to. But hey, it's a lovely song. Go and listen to it.
And just
don't get me wrong, I enjoy it.
As a reminder for you guys that the Pokemon concert is happening at midnight on Saturday, leading into Sunday. So that's 4 p.m. PT. for Saturday, or it's 7 o'clock ET on Saturday. So yeah, midnight for us into Sunday, and then for everyone else, 7 p.m. ET, 4 p.m. PT, and in America on Saturday.
It's like New Year's Eve,
basically. And here we go, something more explicitly Pokemon. Some Zavi stuff.
Yeah,
That
cool
cat looks
little
awesome.
cool little collection. There's like I want to say like a, what do you call it, toiletries bag, I guess.
Yeah,
is that what you call it? Toiletries bag.
Yeah.
Socks, hoodie, cap, all themed around the 25th anniversary, and it says 25 on it, so people will know that you bought it specifically for the anniversary.
Yeah.
Oh, anniversary! Lost my voice.
If it doesn't have the 25, I can't buy it. It's literally unbuyable.
It's cool. It's another opportunity for people to get some cool clothing. Levi's have obviously shared their stuff. There's plenty more.
And this is not like
coming.
The first thing Zavi's done for the anniversary. There's been other merch, so yeah.
And there's plenty more coming for the rest of the year as well. So if this isn't quite your taste, there will be something coming, but they're cool. And what I really like is they really emphasize the 25, which for me, this is what it's all about.
With that, we're going to move on. Time for the Pokemon raid news. Well, Sword and Shield news, but there's a raid happening. What's his raid?
Yeah, so part of the Pokemon Presents a little throwaway moment, but you can currently go and take down Pikachu in Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Mm-hmm. And if enough people do it, you can get rewarded with 100 Dynite and 100 Amorite, which is a pain in the bum to try and farm in the game. So well worth your time just checking into the game and quickly trying to defeat the G-Max Pikachu. Pokemon with the Lightning Rod ability are recommended. And then you can also enter special code P25 Music with a 1 instead of the I in normal mystery code syntax, and get yourself a very special Pikachu in Pokemon Sword and Shield that knows the moves Celebrate and Sing. So although you can get Pikachu with Celebrate from previous events, this is the first time you've ever been able to get a Pikachu with Sing, which is super exciting.
Yeah, and we talked about it last week, but like, can you imagine like getting this into a Alolan Raichu?
I'm hoping that there will be a way at some point to turn that Pikachu into an Alolan Raichu, because a Sing Alolan Raichu with Surge Surfer is a very interesting prospect in VGC.
And just quickly, Shiny Toxtricity is coming to Europe. How's this happening?
Yeah, so the Toxtricity event that we talked about 2 weeks ago is coming to other countries, hopefully near a year if you're not in the US or Canada. Spain, France, I think Germany and Portugal have all got confirmed release mechanisms, the majority of which are either in-store distributions or an online order code from that store. So do check out the announcement on the Pokemon Company website. They've got all the information of what you need to do if you want a Shiny Toxtricity.
And just very quickly, some VGC rules changing?
Yeah, Series 9 announced by the Pokemon Company in the same breath that they also announced that Worlds 2021 has been cancelled, which is very sad to hear, but probably the right decision.
Yeah, we know it's coming back to London in 2022, so we're fine.
Yeah, so the Series 9 rules are basically exactly the same as the Series 7 rules, exactly the same, which felt like a really sensible thing if we were going to be going into Worlds. So I wonder if this was a decision that was kind of thought about before Worlds was cancelled. But unfortunately, with no Worlds, it's a bit of a shame to have to go back to an old way of being, but I'm sure that some people will be really thrilled to have a little bit of stability.
I wonder how Worlds is going to change with the remakes of the Sinnoh remakes. Like, what's that going to look like? Are they going to stay?
Well, I speculated about, are they going to be adding? Are they going to be retrospectively adding the Sinnoh Pokemon into Sword and Shield?
Yeah.
Expanding the Pokedex, expanding the VGC options, or not?
Yeah.
Typically, Pokemon have always ignored the remakes in the competitive format.
Yeah.
So when we got Fire Red, Leaf Green, we used Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald.
Yeah.
When we got Heart Gold, Soul Silver, we used Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. Mm-hmm. So I'm not expecting them to use.
Hang on a minute. Oras
wasn't. Oh, Oras was different because it fundamentally added new Pokemon in the form of Mega Evolutions, but the previous games were not patched to support.
Megas in Diamond and Pearl remakes? No, I'm joking.
It's unlikely, but just simply on that's the reason why Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were used, is they had Pokemon and assets that just didn't exist in the previous games.
Cool.
Which was not true of Fire Red and other games like that.
We'll move on to the next segment. TCG It's easy as 1, 2, 3. We got a new set coming out in Japan in March.
Yeah. First of all, happy anniversary to the TCG with the release of Shining Fates.
Yes. We
Really,
had some fun
really
unboxing
exciting.
those, didn't we?
For people who are longtime fans of the TCG series, shiny Pokemon, which lots of people are excited for.
I mean, I got Poltergeist, so I'm happy. You know, that's all I needed.
It's really exciting that they're bringing the shiny Pokemon around. I'm sure lots of people are opening packs and boxes and getting really excited about it. I would be.
Yeah, but yeah, we've got this new set called Matchless Fighter, which is sort of like an expansion set to the Ichigeki Rengeki sets, or what was it, Swift Fists in English?
It's going to follow the rapid style.
That's the one.
Single strike, rapid strike concept.
Mm-hmm.
So the Pokemon are split into 2 factions,
Mm-hmm.
and there are Pokemon that are going to support each of them. Looks like Slowking is going to be one of the signature Pokemon, which is exciting. It looks like Blaziken might be one of the signature Pokemon, which is super exciting. So lots more to come in the TCG world.
And look at the little artwork on the box for this set. It's amazing.
Yeah,
you've got Clara. You've got that guy. I forgot his name already.
Avery.
That's the one. And you got Galarian, Slowpoke, Slowbro, and Slowking. You know, and they're having curry, which is amazing. But I love that. I love the little artwork.
As they should be.
And then there's 3 really cool cards coming as well. Look at these. Galarian, Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos. Amazing.
Yeah, they look phenomenal.
Yes.
And that's their first entry into the TCG, isn't it?
Yes, you'd be correct.
Yeah, so super exciting. Always nice to get new Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Have we? I probably haven't said in a stream officially what happened to me in the week.
No, go for it.
So Kamale live streamed an unboxing of his Pikachu V-Box, and we got super excited to see. Was it a full art Center Scorch or a VMAX Center Scorch? I want to say it was. I want to say it was a VMAX Center Scorch, which was super cool. I actually bought the same box. Didn't stream me opening it. I did stream it directly to Kamale through Discord, but I opened a Golden Eternatus V, which was super crazy.
Unreal.
I haven't opened Pokemon packs in like 10 years, so to get a card that rare was unbelievable. And it's in a top loader for people who are worried. It's well kept in a shadow. So it's not in the direct sunlight, but it's very much on my shelf, pride of place. It's a very cool looking card. Sorry, that's my bragging over.
No,
we can move on.
I'm happy for you to brag. I was so happy for you, honestly. I couldn't believe it because I know you were having sort of a rough week, and I think you've had a rough week this week. So it's nice that you got something to sort of cheer you up, and
it's definitely been one of the shining moments of the week. It was so crazy to get a card that was that rare. And I wasn't expecting anything. Like, I was happy with the Pikachu V. That's why I bought the box, because I thought that card was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was so happy for you, dude. It's like one of the 2 secret rares in that box. It's unreal. Just unreal work, dude. GG's.
Mm-hmm. GG's.
I still got my Poltergeist, so
yeah.
We'll move on to the next section. Make love, not war. Let's Pokemon Unite. I don't know. That might be that's a title in progress, but yeah, Pokemon Unite news. What's happening?
Yeah, it's getting a beta in Canada in 3 days' time, which is absolutely crazy to think that we're finally getting to the stage where people are going to play this game after it was announced nearly 9 months ago.
Oh, has it been that long? It doesn't feel like it's been that long. Maybe like towards the end of the last year, I would like to say.
It was like no. Pokemon Unite was announced in June, the same time as Pokemon Sleep.
Oh damn! No, Pokemon Sleep was way before Unite, wasn't it?
Wasn't. No, it was 2 weeks before. Do you remember? Because they announced Pokemon Sleep and Pokemon
Sleep,
Smile.
No, Pokemon Sleep came out at the same time as Pokemon Masters. It was not during this. This was last year. Yeah, there was not.
Pokemon Sleep was announced at the same time as Pokemon Masters.
Yes, it was at the same.
Get out of here!
Yeah, I'm serious. I'm deadly serious.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this was last year. This was 2020. Yeah, Pokemon Sleep was like already announced at that point. Like,
oh my gosh, it was announced May 28, 2019.
Yes, that's.
I cannot believe it's been that long.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, Pokemon Unite is getting a beta in Canada. So if you're an Android user in Canada and you haven't signed up to the Pokemon Unite beta, you have about 48 hours to
to register and sign up before the 1st of March. And good luck to all of you who are going to be participating.
Yeah, June 24th. So you're right. It has been like 8 or 9 months since then.
Yeah. Definitely don't want to quietly mention I may or may not have signed up to the beta. I'm not in Canada.
Give me your best Canadian accent. I won't rat you out.
They say sorry a lot, right?
We'll move on.
Sorry. Is that
That's
Canadian?
Scottish, Jesus.
All right.
It's
Northern, right?
Let's just move on. God damn it. Have you never heard a Canadian person before?
No.
So this is the podcast form news roundup. We'll start with Twitch Plays Pokemon. What's not Twitch, sorry. Twitter Plays Pokemon. What was this?
Yeah, we had a sad story 2 weeks ago that some very malicious people and sad people logged on to Twitter and released all of the Pokemon that Twitter Plays Pokemon were using to complete the game. But boy, did Twitter kind of revive itself, no pun intended, and came back with a team that very much swept the Elite Four and the Champion Blue. First time of asking.
Nice.
Yeah, so it completed the game. It reached the Hall of Fame.
It was such a cool idea.
Yeah, shout out to Twitter now joining the Hall of Fame alongside Twitch for being able to complete Pokemon Gen 1.
Next year, we're getting my toaster to attempt a playthrough. On to the next news. We have manga. The Pokemon Journeys show is being turned into a manga, which is really unique and exciting. Because I can't remember the last time we've had a manga with Ash and the crew apart from the movies. So this is quite unique and quite exciting. Because the manga series usually is just the Pokemon Adventure series, and that's his own thing. It's got nothing to do with the anime. But yeah, we're getting an adaptation of the anime to the manga, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I sense you're not that excited about it, so
no. To be honest, I mean, I know it's more your thing than mine. I think part of it is that I need to watch more Pokemon Journeys.
Yeah,
that's probably
absolutely. And this last thing, Sinnoh rebuilt in Lego, which actually looks like the remake now.
Yeah, super. I mean, shout out. Have we got the name of the person who's doing this? It's super cool.
No, you can search for it whilst I
will search for it.
Yeah.
Someone is building the entire Sinnoh region to scale out of Lego, and it looks awesome.
It looks so authentic as well. They've done a really bang up job of doing
the bit that blows my mind is that it's to scale.
Yes, indeed it is. I can see the tiles as well, actually, now you mention it.
Like each individual 1x1 Lego square is a tile in the game. That's crazy.
Have you found the name? Question mark?
I have not.
Okay, we'll mention the guy in a little bit. Onto this. Nope, that's not the one. Let's move on to the next section. There we go. What's Pokemon going on? Yeah, there's a lot of events happening. Let me just quickly go through it. March 4th, Go Rocket Hour, so an hour of Team Rocket. March 11th, Mega Bonus Hour, so you get candies. And then March 18th, you get the Mega Raid Hour, so more Mega Raids will be happening. Upcoming events, March 6th, you've got Fletchling Community Day, and you'll get a Talonflame that learns Incinerate. March 9th to 14th, you've got the Searching for Legends event happening, where Shiny Nosepass will debut. March 14th, you'll have Incense Day, where Psychic and Steel types will be more easily attainable through using Incense, and that means Beldum is going to be boosted. March 16th to March 22nd, you've got the Charge Up event, where electric Pokemon will make their Pokemon Go debut. A certain electric Pokemon, I think it's going to be Tynamo, who knows, we'll find out. Weather Week is happening from March 24th to March 29th, where the Therian forms of Tornadus, Thundurus, and Landorus are going to be happening. Legendary Raid Weekend is happening, so there'll be more Legendary Raids on March 27th and March 28th. Weekly free bundles are happening, so we're going to get a free remote raid pass on March 1st, March 8th, March 15th, March 22nd, March 29th. In terms of quality life updates, when you trade Pokemon, you're guaranteed to get XL candy, so that's to boost your Pokemon above level 40. If you walk with your buddy, there's a chance of getting a Candy XL, and guaranteed Candy XLs when you capture a legendary, mythical, or evolved Pokemon. So yeah, and I would like to thank Legends Lima on Twitter for making it possible to get through all that information in a quick time. So thank you,
can
Legends
use
Lima.
you can use the Excel candy to do your maths homework for you.
God damn it. With that, we're moving on to the next section.
Can I just quickly mention who's doing the Lego stuff?
Yes, go for it.
So Reddit user Scout is a Spiable, also known as Warlord Jimbei, Jimbei on Instagram.
We don't advocate any war.
That is where you can find all the photos of the cities, the towns. The Safari Zone has already been done. It's incredible.
And with that, we'll move on. So you want to be a Pokemon Masters? Here we go. Celebration time, baby. 1.5 year anniversary. And look who's on the banner. We got Leon. We got Diantha. We got Iris.
It's a Champions celebration for the 1.5 anniversary and a trailer that showed not just the champion of Galar, Leon, coming to Pokemon Masters, but also the long-awaited Diantha and Gardevoir, and also champion Iris.
Indeed, and we've got a roadmap actually, which I'm quite blown away by. Here's the roadmap right in front of us, starting with what? Leon and Marnie are already in the game.
Yeah, so jump into the game today, and Leon and Marnie are available for you right now. We've got a rerun of Gloria coming up imminently as well, to complement Leon, who is very much themed around having as many Galar pairs as possible.
Indeed, and Gloriazation's here. So coming on the 3rd of March. So we've got rerun of that. Don't really need to pull for it. Save your gems for Steven whenever Steven comes out. Iris and the Champion's going to be coming later on in March. So March 17th. She's going to have Hydreigon. More on that when the sync pair debuts and we know what her movesets are. Diantha and Gardevoir, finally, after all this time, finally the champion appears.
I have never seen a community more unanimous in their wanting of Diantha and Gardevoir.
Yeah, it's been such a long time.
Having been on the original artwork, the loading screen, or the title screen, I guess, of the game, 18 months we've had to wait. But hopefully she will be worth it. We'll tell you more as and when her sync pair is revealed.
Indeed. We've got a few stories coming up.
Yeah, so starting with the Champions Time story event surrounding Leon and his introduction into the game, and a map-based story event for you to get your hands on, with one of my favorite things in the world, which are side stories, which are just little moments of pure, joy and connection in the Pokemon world that would never happen in the real games. Lots of fun. I enjoy those events.
Now, I'm conscious of time, so do you want to review the sync pairs moves this week, or should we save it for next week?
Why don't I just whistle stop, pull or not pull on the sync pairs?
Yes, go for it.
Leon, if you want to pull for Leon, he is incredibly good. He is by far and away.
You can mention his passives and stuff. Go for it quickly.
Yeah, he's an all-round sync pair who basically has flying utility, fire utility, and ground utility. Has a passive that boosts the damage output of all of your sync pairs by 10% and damage reduction by 20%. It is well worth you trying to get at least one copy of Leon. And certainly one copy is probably the most gem-efficient way because he only has a 1% chance of appearing. So boy, will you be lucky if you get even one copy of him. He doesn't have much difference between 1.5 and 2.5. 3.5 does make him exceptionally strong. There's arguments and debates about whether he's better or not as good as Red, as a fire striker. I think Garchomp still takes the upper hand as a ground-type striker, and potentially Blue and Pidgeot as a flying-type striker. But if you're missing one or more of those, Leon can very happily fill the gaps for you. So if you are perhaps someone who's not got all of those three sync pairs in good stead, he's a very cost-efficient sync pair to pull for.
Yeah.
Marnie and Morpeko is definitely surpassed as an electric-type user by some of the other sync pairs we have in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And as a dark-type user by Karen. Karen, who remains one of the strongest AoE
it's
damage
quite a gimmicky pair, isn't it, Marnie and Morpeko?
It's the only sync pair that, other than Silvally, that can change types. The difference with Marnie and Morpeko is it can do it every single time it moves.
Yeah.
But what that normally means is that every other turn, you're halving your damage output. So although it might be a really good pair or a cost-efficient pair for someone who's not got
as many sync pairs as perhaps some of the longer term players do. I think for longer term players, you've got better options already.
Yeah, I don't think you want to be pulling for money on more Pekka, especially being a Poke Fair. You can spend your gems on Leon.
Also, Leon's banner comes with a 12% chance of 5 stars, which is the highest we've ever had in the game.
Yeah. I can't wait. And with that, we'll move on from the Pokemon Masters news. Amit, I can't believe we're having to ask this again. I didn't prepare for this, but where the Helioptile is Pokemon Sleep?
I cannot believe it was announced in 2019. Like I had to Google it. I didn't believe you. 2 years, dude. 2 years.
What can I say? I mean, some might speculate, is Pokemon Sleep Pokemon Dead? Thank you to Philip J. Woodward for the graphic.
I love Philip. That is incredible artwork.
It blows my mind we didn't even get a mention of it.
Listen, it's probably one of those things that is still being worked on, but is being delayed by COVID and other whatnot.
We always say the peripheral's probably the reason why it's being held up. It's
the only Pokemon thing that was mentioned has just gone away. And they're not even mentioning it. There's no, reference to it. They're not like, it's coming, hold on. They just stopped mentioning it. Should we start a Twitter account where the Helioptile is Pokemon Sleep that just every hour sends a tweet at the Pokemon company that just says where the Helioptile is Pokemon Sleep?
Great idea. I'll leave you to do it. Excellent. With that, we're going to move on to our last
That is what
segment.
they call a bad use of technology.
Technology! Why are people scared of it? Sorry, that's a reference. It's the unknown. Hey, unknown factor of the week with Amit.
I like that you put my name at the end of it now. Deary me.
There we go.
So there is. It's well known that the Pokemon Nosepass is famous for always facing north. His nose is magnetically attracted to the North Pole. But did you know that in Pokemon Go, Nosepass faces any direction it which wants to?
Really?
Yeah. You'd think it was a super easy one with a compass on, your screen at all times. Nosepass does not always face north.
Amazing.
Which really begs the question: are there counterfeit Nosepass out there?
I tell you what, of all my friends, no one would ever put that idea into my head.
If your Nosepass was not facing north when you caught it, it might be a counterfeit Nosepass.
It's like a poltergeist, where you look on the underneath, and if it hasn't got like a certain mark, it's a counterfeit.
Yeah, if you don't have the fine china stamp on your poltergeist, it's fake poltergeist. And if your Nosepass doesn't face north at all times, you better ask for a refund.
Jesus. With that, that's been the PokeRamble Podcast. Where can people find you, Amit?
You can find me by emailing PokeRamblePodcast@gmail.com.
PokeRamblePod@gmail.com.
PokeRamblePod. Sorry, PokeRamblePod.
No wonder we're not getting any emails. And you can also find us at PokeRamble.com. Thank you very much to Al Trabzon for setting that up for us. We won't be doing a show on Sunday. I think we're all showed out after that massive announcement. Unless there's something huge that happens at the Pokemon, what do you call it? Concert.
The live concert.
Yeah, unless there's something huge that happens in the live concert. You'll see us next week, next Sunday, on the usual place of twitch.tv/KumailH or H, or however you want to say H. But yeah, thank you for watching, and for those watching live, I'm going to be streaming some Pokemon Masters.